If you're just joining us, welcome to the month of March. Time now for the news. And in our first story, 70-year-old veteran politician Bola Tinubu has been declared winner of Nigeria's presidential election. He obtained 36% of the votes cast to retain power for the governing All Progressives Congress. Now, his main rival, Atiku Abubakar, polled 29% and Labour Party's Peter Obi, 25%. We hear from the elected president in a moment, but first, let's hear from the Nigerian Electoral Commission, the INEC.
That Tinubu Bola Ahmed of the APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Tinubu is promising to build a new Nigeria of prosperity.
Substitution and many ways. But Senator Yari, who was the former governor, Mutawali, the Excellency present governor, Shetima, and many of them, including Senator Marafa, they got together on their own after so much pressure. They were able to resolve their differences without damaging to the party, without destroying the party. And they brought home victory for the presidential candidate and victory for the Senate. I want to say thank you especially for those. We will never forget Yari. We will never forget an Atiku, the sacrifice. We will never forget Mutawali. It's my son, actually. Now I can go straight before other wrappings and talks to what I should do. My starting out here is to talk to fellow Nigerians that I am profoundly humbled that you have elected me to serve as the 16th president of our beloved country. This is a shining moment in the life of any man and affirmation of our democratic existence. From my heart, and truly from my heart, I say thank you very much.
Well, from Nigeria, let's come back to Ghana, and President Akakpo is confident Ghana will reach a final deal with the International Monetary Fund for a bailout at the end of this month following progressive talks with the China authorities for debt cancellation. According to him, a meeting with the Chinese Exim Bank is progressing positively, giving indication the country could seal a deal with the Paris Club. He was addressing the annual ambassadors and high commissioners get-together at the Pediasi Lodge last night.
We acknowledge the reality of the fact that our economy is in considerable difficulty. The budget drawn for the 2022 fiscal year was thrown out of gear, disrupting our balance of payments and debt sustainability, and further exposing the structural weaknesses of our economy. We have gone to the International Monetary Fund to repair in the short term our public finances and restore our balance of payments while we continue to work on the medium to long-term structural changes that are at the heart of our goal of constructing a resilient, robust Ghanaian economy and building a Ghana beyond aid. Just as we managed to achieve a staff-level agreement with the fund in record time in December last year, whose terms we are systematically fulfilling, including the difficult but ultimately highly successful process of the domestic debt exchange program. I'm confident that with the cooperation we are receiving from members of the Paris Club and the People's Republic of China, which has sent a delegation from China's Exim Bank to Accra over the weekend to meet with officials of the Ministry of Finance, we shall be able to go to the board of the fund to conclude finally the agreement by the end of March. This will set the stage for the strong recovery of Ghana's economy. Needless to say, we would hope that all Ghana's friends would weigh in with words of support at the fund.
Now, after months of persistent calls by the then minority leader Haruna Iddrisu, chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensa, has finally appeared before Parliament to brief MPs on the Commission's proposed constitutional instrument. Now, the CI makes the Ghana card the sole identity document to enroll on the register. Jean Mensa mounted a spirited defense of the proposal, arguing it would rid Ghana's voters' register of minors and non-citizens. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante now reports.
Former minority leader Haruna Iddrisu had always insisted that EC chairperson Jean Mensa appears before the House over this controversial CI. Madam Jean Mensa says this CI will help make Ghanaian election even more credible as she mounted a spirited defense of the proposal.
The CI before Parliament seeks to promote the continuous registration of voters and advocates for an all-year-round registration of eligible voters at the district offices of the Electoral Commission. It is a clear departure from the previous system where the voters' registration was done for a limited period. We are mindful of Article 42, Article 42 of the Constitution, which enjoins us to register Ghanaians who are 18 years and above and who are of sound mind. We do not intend to disenfranchise persons who qualify to vote. More especially, it will prevent unqualified persons from influencing our elections and having a say as to who should govern our country. This is an issue that borders on the sovereignty of our nation. Simply put, only eligible Ghanaians must be entitled to vote. And we call on our honorable members to support our efforts to prevent foreigners and minors from getting onto our electoral roll, that the Ghana card will not be used to vote in the 2024 election. The Ghana card is only a requirement to register as a voter. Once you present your Ghana card and successfully register as a voter, you will be issued with a voter's identification card which bears the code of your region, your district, your electoral area, and the name of your polling station. The Ghana card does not have these features, and therefore it will not be used to vote in the 2024 general election.
The NIE, the institution dealing with the production of the Ghana cards, which is at the center of this controversy, are also of the opinion that the Ghana card will make the election even more credible. Professor Kenatifa is Executive Secretary of the NIE.
With respect to the integration of our database with EC, the hope is that it will help eliminate the cost of periodic voter register compilation, card issuance, and voter verification, depending on which of these options the EC will independently select to pursue. But it will also result in the issuance of secure ID smart cards with 10-year life cycles, if this were ever to be considered. But most importantly, it will eliminate concerns over voter fraud due to the high integrity of our database. There will be non-duplication of voter ID and determination of eligibility based on age, based on citizenship, and also based on the person's identity, that you will be who you say you are.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has also been assuring Parliament that the NIA will get the requisite financial support to undertake more registrations and to clear its debt with the banks, which has led to the seizure of some 3.5 million cards.
To ensure that the 3.5 million cards will be released at the appropriate time for the work to be done, we agreed on 100 million CD transfer, and as he rightly said, 80 million has been put into the accounts of CAL, and 20 million, as he also mentioned, will be done by close of business today. So we are very comfortable about the situation to ensure that the needed cards will be given to the NIA to do its work.
MPs on both sides had questions, while some had comments on the presentation.
I want to believe that she traveled to Nigeria on a Ghanaian passport and not a Ghanaian national ID card. We need you to establish, and Mr. Speaker, we are demanding that this is established. We want technical evidence of data sharing infrastructure between the National Electoral Commission, the National Identification Authority. She says that 10 million people use Ghana card. It means that some 3.4 million use other references other than Ghana card, where their votes illegitimate and they did undermine our democracy. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Can you explain to us why the proposed CI is very important and how the CI will expose impersonators and fraudsters who don't have any form of identity?
Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Now, the NDC Member of Parliament for Jaman South in the Bono region, Williams Okofo-Datte, has been accused by the MPP of engaging in financial malfeasance and corrupt acts that are killing the developmental agenda of the municipality. At a media briefing in Drobo, the MPP alleged that funds earmarked for the support of educational infrastructure and the vulnerable, among others, are being misapplied against the law. They are appealing to stakeholders to act in the interest of the people in the constituency. Precious Semevo has more.
Seen as development agents at the constituency level, members of parliament are expected to use their share of funds, including the District Assembly Common Fund and Social Intervention Fund, among others, to support pro-poor development activities in their communities. But according to the NPP in the German South, their NDC MP, Williams Okofo-Datte, is doing the opposite. At a press conference in Drobo, they accused Okofo-Datte of colliding with suppliers to divert funds meant for the vulnerable and school buildings at Enunkrano, Mrimanu, and other communities against the laws, thereby depriving the people of the expected benefit. Techi Hayford is the German South Constituency Deputy Organizer of the MPP.
Honorable Williams Okofo-Datte has taken some huge sums of money to procure 600 bags of cement and 20 trips of sand to construct classroom blocks for the people of Enunkrano. But our checks from his side indicate that after almost 2 years of taking the money, only 1,200 blocks have been modeled. When you go to Enunkrano, the Member of Parliament also promised to give them some bags of cement, sand, and the rest. Out of the money and the quantum that estimated to be given for this project, only 1,002 of blocks has been given. Our checks also indicate that the price that he gave in relation to purchase for cement and other things, it was inflated to the tune of 15%. Hey. Honorable Member of Parliament for German South has not been truthful in financial dealings.
Providing further details, the constituency secretary, Samuel Obintechi, explained how a football gala with funds from the social intervention ended abruptly with all prize monies unaccounted for.
He took 60,000 of taxpayers' money from the social intervention fund to organize football gala. The division is that the winner will take 10,000, the first runner-up will take 7,000 in that order. and the prize money amounts to 20,000, and he's using 40,000 to organize. They intentionally created some scenes and came to tell us that for security reasons they could not finish the games. As we speak, that amount has been squandered. Nobody knows where it is.
German South Municipal Chief Executive Andrews Bediako, when contacted, corroborated the accusations and said he has taken steps to ensure the people get what is due them, including an investigation by the state bodies.
Last year, you took money that you were going to buy Christmas gifts for vulnerable within the municipality. You ended up sharing these items to your party people, constituency secretary, constituency chairman, constituency youth organizer. So this year, when they wanted to assess this thing, I told them, without the last year's distribution list, I'm not going to approve this for you. Lo and behold, when they were able to bring this, I said, okay, let's look at it. This year, what we gave to them, it is worse. Going forward, I've written to education director, I've written to health director. Those things that came to me, for that one I have control. But assessing these health fund, SIF, get fund from education director and the health director, they cannot make any payment without my knowledge. Because if we do it, I will let the NIB come in to investigate. Even this issue, I'm going to let him investigate it.
Precious Semevo, Joy News, Drobo.
Let's turn our gaze to health now, and malnutrition among children under 2 years, which has sometimes led to their deaths in some parts of the country, has been curtailed due to an intervention by the World Vision, which assisted households with adequate feeding supplements, especially for both mother and child. The intervention, dubbed Improved Feeding Practices for First 1,000 Days, provides proper dietary needs to the pregnant mother through delivery till the child is 2 years old. Beneficiaries of the project tell Joy News' Hannah Odame in their report their source of livelihood has been positively impacted.
Prior to the implementation of the project in the selected districts of the 3 regions, some mothers were not exclusively breastfeeding their children in the first 6 months of their lives. Others did not wean off the children with the appropriate meals. All these affected the general well-being and developmental milestones of the child. Hagar Idubampong, who had 2 children before encountering the new feeding methods, testified of how it saved her from complicated childbirth.
World Vision gave us poultry and supplementary food to enhance our diet and health. I realized I had no complications during my pregnancy, as doctors told me my health was always improving anytime I visited the hospital. My child is also doing very well at her birth.
Project manager of the Improved Feeding Program, Priscilla Babie, shared how the project exceeded its targets in getting mother and child the right meals.
I've trained village-based entrepreneurs on how to promote the sales of nutritional supplements. Again, we have also provided startup crop to our farmers. So we have 1,056 farmers that we are working across the project location. Now, these startup crops include orange flesh sweet potato, which is biofortified crop rich in vitamin A. So we are promoting the consumption of this crop, which is rich in vitamin A, which is also an essential micronutrient that children need to boost their growth. Again, we have also supported them with pawpaw seedlings, mango seedlings, and moringa seedlings that are being cultivated at the household level for consumption.
Male champions who were enrolled to assist with the implementation of the project talked about how they supported the women.
At first, I think the care of the child is in the hands of the woman. But due to the training I've been through, I know it is a collective effort. I have to do it with the lady so that we can get the proper upbringing of the child.
World Vision says it will extend the project, financed by the Japan Social Development Fund, to other regions in the country. For Joy News, I am Hannah Odame.
Thank you for staying with us for the news. The news review is up next. Do stay.